Open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
Yo, it's pictures from the book
This is the voice of reason. I'm baby Oprah. Voice of reason. Voice of reason. How y'all doing out here tonight? Welcome to another episode of The Voice of Reason. This is your host, Baby Oprah, also known as Kadi. And of course, I have two very special co-hosts on my show today because we're really about to get into some things. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but first we'll start off on the left side.
I'm Quis Chandla.
Tell them what you do. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Just a little bit. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, business owner, as well as full-time college professor. So I'm just happy to be here.
Yes. And to my right, this is my right.
Hi everybody, I'm Staci, also known as Mac Lovin' Looks. I'm into fashion and styling, and I also have a master's in health administration. So, yeah, that's me.
Okay, I know you're wondering, like, how you have two different, one's a professor, one's a fashionista, like, what's going on this episode? But really what we're about to talk about is dating. In this day and age, I don't even want to limit it to millennials because I think everybody fucked up across the board right now when it comes to dating. Me and Stace, Mac Lovin' Looks, we talked about this before because just the struggle with dating in this day and age with men, no shade, but shade.
It's stressful.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
What do you think the most stressful part is for you?
It's no consistency. You know, they start off, everything is going good, and then they fall off, then they come back. It's just no consistency. Consistency is big for me. So if you can't be consistent, to me, if you really want something and you're into it, you're going to make time for it. You're going to do what you need to do. So if you're not doing that, I gather that this is not something you want to do, and I can't deal with it.
Yeah. Consistency is big for me, but it's only big if I like you. Because then it'd be people that's consistent, but it'd be the wrong. But
it's like leave me
you
alone.
ain't learned now, just leave me alone. Like,
can I ask a question though?
What?
So, alright, when it comes to consistency, what can you elaborate and what consistent you need to be? Because you can be consistently cheating, and that's expected of you. So you're consistently doing that.
When I say consistent, I mean, okay, if you got me accustomed to you doing certain things, we go out, we do things together, we go to the gym, we train together, I hear from you every day, you check in. If you stop doing that, or if you tone it down, it's like, okay, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? Okay. And me, I'm dating with intention. So if you're not dating with intention to like build a relationship or be serious, what are we doing? I don't have time to play. Like, I'm not. You know?
I think what I see most is not even the consistency, like somebody start doing something right and then they just stop doing it. I just think that men, y'all really have a hard time learning and picking up clues, like the common sense clues that I think women, we're very black and white to a certain extent. I would think so. I think I'm very black and white. But I will always, like, I've learned this. I used to be big on, like, let these niggas know, right? Because I used to not speak up. I feel like a lot of women, our downfall is we always are stuck on being chosen. That we forget you doing the choosing too. Like, this nigga have to live up to something that you want them to live up to. It's not just about you waiting for them to be like, pick me, like, act right, or choose to make me your wife, or choose to make me your girlfriend, whatever the case is. So I used to just be so passive, like, and I'll be like, okay, if he acts this way, then maybe I gotta act that way. Or if he's not doing this, then I'm gonna just shut up and sit here. And because you don't want to seem too thirsty. Maybe in my younger age, when we was in our younger 20s, the biggest thing is not rejection. Being too thirsty, being played. I know that was a big fear of mine. And then I went through a situation where I was so passive, and the shit still ended. Like, I feel like we try to do so much, or women are try to do so much to make a guy think, to make a guy want you. And it's like, if it's not meant to be, whether it's day 1 or day 373, it ain't gonna be. So I realized, like, one thing that I always say is, you'll get over being played, you'll never get over playing yourself. And once that veil is lifted, you sit back and look at a situation like, yo, I was really like, I was apart. Like, why didn't I say this? I should have brought this up. I knew my intuition was right here, and I just let it slide. And that shit eats me up. So I got to a point where it was like, if I meet you day 1 and you cough the wrong way, I really think you got Ebola. I'm saying whatever. Like, I'm whatever you do, whatever you say, I'm calling you out on it. But then I realized in this age that niggas be knowing. Just like females be though. They be knowing what they doing. They just want to know what they can get away with. So I'm not explaining myself no more. You just have to, I realize responding in a way that speaks to who you are is an answer enough. And it's the best way to let people know you got me fucked up without even saying it. Like, a lot of females are, like, we get to a point in a relationship where you're complaining about the same things, but you don't realize, you claim that you don't like this or you're into this and this person, your partner should be this type of person. But you so happen was able to get in a relationship where this person didn't meet any of those qualifications, but you're still complaining in the relationship because you don't. I feel like, I don't know, saying what your type is, people say whatever out their mouth because it sounds good, but is that really your type?
Yeah. I think that, you know, for dudes, it's like we do know in certain aspects, and, you know, we have conversation about it as guys, like, you know, if you put yourself in this situation, like, we'll say, yo, don't do this or don't say that, because if you say this, I already know she's gonna get mad. And just for us having that conversation, you know, we pick up on certain things, but, you know, we try in certain aspects to continue to, you know, do the things that you like and the things that you say, you know, that you, the things that make you happy. But, you know, sometimes it's hard, like, to be 100% consistent. Something else might be happening in your life to where, you know, we're not the most vocal, you know, people. We're not the most vocal individuals. So if something occurs or something that we're not comfortable talking to you about, it might be taken away from that energy that you're looking for. So before I, you know, build up the confidence to tell you, well, you know, something's happening at my job that, you know, I don't want you to be able to look at me and say I'm not handling it like a man, or something's happening with one of my family members that I really don't want to share right now, right? Sometimes that changes how, or the type of energy that we're displaying when we're trying to, you know, build.
Are we talking about the dating phase, or are we talking about, like, in the relationship?
In the dating phase.
Okay.
Because, like, I mean, I was a serial dater. So, you know, I would date women for a whole year. So it's like we in a relationship. I was single 9 years in a row. So dating women for me and having, like, what you would call a relationship or a committed relationship, for me, a lot of that was the same. And I would notice that with the women that I dated for extended periods of time, it would be the same way. Yo, why you switching up? Yo, you got somebody else that you talk to? And it's like, nah, like, something else in my life that I'm focusing on, and it's taken away from me being able to give you that same type of time and energy.
That's all of a matter of a conversation though. Like, dudes would just start acting funny and never tell you anything. So now I think that's what makes her feel uneasy, because she doesn't know.
I would say, like, just to even add on to that, like, a lot of my male friends, and this is why I usually go get my relationship advice from males. I go to my female friends when we want to fuck some shit up and I just want to be mad. But for sound advice, I go to men, and you know why that is it's not your fault, but y'all have the luxury of being the one that gets to choose. And what you just said, like, I'll date for a whole year. And that's not jumping in, meaning I'll just talk to somebody for a whole year before I even decide I want to make you my girl. And I feel like a lot of women, we don't give ourselves that luxury. Like, you feel like we got to meet someone today. He got to be my man by tomorrow. We got to have a kid. Like, I feel like there's a time clock for us. Like, not even for the sake of getting married and having kids, just in general. Like, you need it to go further to solidify who you are. But men will be like I was talking to one of my close friends the other day, and I was like, yo, you was messing with this pretty girl. She was mad pretty. She was smart. Was all in college. Why didn't you ever make her your girlfriend? And it was so simple. He was like, no, that's not what I look for in a girlfriend. It wasn't like nothing was wrong with her, but he was just like, you know, I'm looking for what I look for in a girlfriend. We just wasn't there. Like, I'm okay with us just messing around. She was okay with it, but it was. And I'm like, yo, why don't women think this way? And a lot of times that's what gets us in a position of trying to fix these men, because you feel like, okay, well, I got a good bond with them here, so now I gotta build the beer and make them so then we could get to the next level, because it has to get there. Where men will be like, I'll just talk to you for a year.
I think it's all about, like, in one of the classes that I had, because I went to school like forever, they said that one of the things that we look at in, like, our behaviors is that women are attracted to stability and security, and men are attracted to, they said, women's ability to bear children. But when you look at it from, you know, the women's aspect of stability, you're looking at, does he have a job? Does he have his own place? Like, does he have a car? Is he able to provide? So if you're able to provide, this makes sense for me, I'm going to stay here. For dudes, it's like, you know, you could be pretty, you could do this, you could do that, but if there's something else that kind of, like, changes, or things that I'm specifically looking for, you don't have that, you know, we start looking around at other things, like, maybe it'll work with her, maybe it'll work with this person. So I think that, like, you know, for women, you're looking at security, So if he's providing everything, you're not really gonna start looking for somebody else to date. Like if he has everything, then why am I trying to complicate the situation? I could be wrong though. I mean, I've never been a woman.
What was it for you with dating? What do you think was, aside from consistency, what stopped you? Okay, let me bring you to a specific situation. I don't know anybody you dated, but give me a moment where it could have made it to the next level, but.
Okay. Well, I was dating this guy, and everything was going well. You know, we were working out, talking about life, and he started to pry and ask questions about my personal life. Mm-hmm. And then it just made me think, I'm like, you know, I'm not really comfortable with talking about it because, you know, people have traumatic experiences. And I was like, you know, maybe one day I'll be able to talk to you about it. And he was like, oh, well, if you don't want to talk to me about it, then I'm done with it. Like, I'm over the situation. And I'm like, how am I supposed to be open and honest with you if you're upset because I'm not comfortable with talking to you about something when you haven't opened up to me about anything? How does that work? I said, that's not going to work for me. Oh, you never even gave me a chance to get to know you. You're trying to force it and do it on your terms. That's a form of control to me, and that wasn't gonna work. So I was just like, yeah, this may not be the best. This may not be the best.
Yo, that just made me think of what I was saying the other day. I hate when people tell me they like me. That's when with me dating, that's when it goes downhill. The moment you tell me you like me, I'm just like, because let me tell you why. Exactly what you said. I feel like men use the word "I like you" as supposed to be the stamp and seal versus really just trying to get to know you.
Right.
Like, I feel like I like you speak more volumes when you actually show me you like me by letting everything unfold organically. I feel like that I like you puts men and both women in a confused state because it's like, okay, you tell me you like me. What am I supposed to do with that? Do I go cash that at the bank? Do I, can I go sell it for food stamps? Get it? Like, what am I supposed to do with it? I like you? I feel like a guy would tell you I like you and that's it. The actions
you think you don't have to do nothing. Yeah.
Exactly, and then they expect it. I don't know if it's social media. People feel like we're supposed to be day one and then be all of a sudden just comfortable around each other, and they don't go through the organic process of trying to get to
it's
know.
No work.
Like,
it's always a disparity between what they say and what they do. It's
right.
like, what are we doing? What are you talking about? What?
How do you know if a woman is serious about you?
Serious about me when they start talking to me about my future plans. Like, what do you want to do in 5 years? Like, where do you want to live? Do you want kids? Do you want to get married? And I'm like, damn, right now I'm just trying to figure out if we drinking dark or we drinking light. And you already talking about because I've had women talk to me about their religious affiliation and said, well, I can't date somebody who doesn't go to church, or I can't date somebody that I can't raise. I had a situation where I was dating this young lady out actually in New Jersey because it was still when I was living in Maryland, and this was maybe the second time that we actually interacted face to face, and we're sitting down kicking it, and she was just like, I just gotta let you know these are my religious practices, and if this gonna work, I can't raise children in a house that's split with two different religious affiliations. I'm like, bro, this is the second time that we kicked it.
Yeah,
how we talking about how we raising our kids? That didn't make any sense to me.
That's a lot.
And it didn't work. She was too intrusive. You would say too fast. So, when she showed me that she liked me by asking those questions, it told me that she wants to explore, how far this can go. But that was very overwhelming to get that
it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, yo, you know what y'all made me realize? It really is no in between in our generation. It's either the people who put no effort or people doing too much. So it's like that. I feel like dating is a struggle either way it goes. The anxiety would religion. I don't know necessarily with religion, but one thing I did learn, I feel like as you get older, you realize you start to take the idea of being with someone serious, and you learn a lot about yourself. For me, I realized I really cannot date anybody who does not have a relationship with God. Religion is maybe a far stretch, but not even for me, but for themselves. I feel like this generation puts so much emphasis on the person you're dating being your savior. It's I need somebody who has some sort of spirituality outside of me, not only to save the relationship, but to save themselves. Because I don't care what these women talking about these day and age. I do not. That whole saving meant and feeling like you
you already have a child. You don't want another one.
No, not at all.
Not
that
your mom.
At all. And it's sometimes you need to feed off of your partner. And it's if they don't have something that's giving them fuel, it's
And that's the thing. A lot of guys are not looking for love or relationship. They're looking for help.
Can we talk about the homeless?
They're looking for help.
Did y'all see that meme about the homeless?
They're looking for help. And it's like, sir, I can't
like,
save
okay, no, let's be real, because to survive in this day and age is real. Okay, the cost of living is real. And that's also one of my biggest fears, to get in a situation with somebody, y'all moving together, y'all finances become dependent on each other, and it's like, I don't really want you. And now we're stuck here because I can't live in Penn Station. So it's just like, that is also a big fear of mine. But we have to be real. The cost of living is like...
Yeah. I actually talked in my class about, us doing like research to what that looks like, especially in New Jersey. Because like you said, if you all like cohabitating this to the point of, I'm with this person, I want to break up with this person, but I can't leave, so I'm going to just stay here. And that's got to like, affect somebody's mental health to, I want to date other people. This person date other people. Do we date other people? We can't bring them home. Like, what does that look like? So especially in this area, because like I said, when I was in Maryland, we didn't have that issue. Almost everybody had their own, space because the cost of living is so low. But up here, it's like, what you can get down there for $800, you like, nah, for that I gotta pay like, $1,600, $1,700 for up here. So, what makes dating, I think, also, hard here is that you don't really get the opportunity to learn somebody in, a private space as well. Like, it's about knowing each other. Like, it's good to learn each other in a public space, how you interact socially, stuff like that. But eventually, when you start, like, becoming intimate, things of that nature, you have to have some type of consistent space and private space to talk about some of the things, that you were saying with the guy that you were talking to. So, we have to look at it from that aspect as well.
It's the homeless boy fall thing. That's just it was a meme just saying like something about like basically, sis, that man don't want you. He just need a home. He need a home. He need a place to stay. But for women in general, whether it's the cost of living or not, of course we always have to look for stability. But for men, how much like dating wise do you look for how much a woman can hold her own or either bring to the table?
That's big for me only because when I was in like the doctoral program, like I would I would see like my frat brothers and stuff, we would go out and they would introduce me to women. They was like, this is Quis. He getting a doctoral degree. And I'm like, hold up, like, what I got going for me
that's your business.
Is not necessarily what they should be looking at first. And, when I would date, certain women would say like, yo, I really want to be with you because I know you're going to be something.
See,
and I'm like, that don't feel good to hear. Right. That means that you see this as an opportunity for you, but it's like, you got to get your own. Like, how are we going to make sure that we both have, even playing field if you're just looking at what, I'm going to be and how you're just going to be there for support. Like, you got to bring something else too.
Right.
So, as far as like stability, you want somebody that's going to be your companion. You want somebody that, when we do slip a little bit, you're there to kind of like help us out a little bit just to get back to where we were, but not just to be like dependent on you,
Would you just want a man that pay all the bills and you don't have to work?
I'm not really comfortable with that. I like to work. I like to have my own money. So if I had a man that wanted to pay all the bills, cool, but I would still have to have my own job and I would still be willing to pay or do other things.
How much should you pay?
That's
because if we're looking at it from, like I said, I'm always comparing New Jersey and Maryland just from living, right? So how much do you have to pay in terms of the rent, the bills, or like what should a woman pay for?
I feel like that depends on everybody's salary. You gotta keep that in mind. Like if you're the man and you're making more and you're okay with paying more and she's still paying a substantial amount, that's cool.
I feel like because there's some cases where women make more, and in this day and age, that's not a shock for us. Like you know what I'm saying? We're not in the 20s. When we talk about men providing, we're talking about a day and age where women were not even allowed to work, and if you really wasn't making no bread. You know what I'm saying? So people like to compare it to like, oh, I want a man to pay all the bills back in the day. Like you couldn't work. If I'm making the same amount or possibly even more, depending on your field, like you have a doctorate, you could date a girl who's a doctor. You know what I'm saying? There still be a pay gap. Doesn't mean you don't have much going for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, I personally always want to go 50-50 on the rent because in case we get in an argument, I want my half of the house. But for me too, I feel like you love somebody, the struggle of just me being a creative, I know I'm gonna attract somebody who's also chasing their own dream outside of their 9 to 5 if that's what they have. And if that is the case, our plans have to be like, I'm not letting you spend all your bread on the bills if I can front half. We're gonna have a plan, and if it's not just for your dreams, but like we want to get a house, we want to get property, we want to do stuff. You have kids, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a relationship. A lot of the times, why we get bored, or our generation gets so bored quickly in relationships, is that you don't realize that it doesn't end at the relationship or the marriage. It's like you both have to still feel like you're individuals running a race. That's life, period. You always got to feel like you have a purpose. You never meet an end goal until the day you die. So if that's the case, I'd rather our finances, whether I make more money or you make more money, the extra money ain't about to be going towards, somebody take up more of the weight and I'm going to take less. No, we're going to put it towards something
that can make us more money, generate more money.
And then too, just going 50-50. I don't know. I personally would do 50-50, but if someone makes way more than the other, I just feel like you have to be realistic based on what your situation is.
But that means that you also have to share salaries.
I don't believe in that.
Because I can tell you I'm making this much and we can be splitting. It's like, oh man, but I'm just putting all this money away.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be the hardest part of me with dating. I'm very awkward about sharing finances, and maybe because I've been a loner for a very long time. So it's just like, even me and my sisters, we live together, we split the bills. Like, I don't care how much you make, just come with your half the day you come with your half. And then too, I realize I get really annoyed with how people spend their money. It's bad because I don't spend my money any better, but I really would get annoyed watching a guy spend all his money on sneakers. I mean, whether he paying the bills or not, I just get annoyed. Like, that's maybe the control freak in me. So I'd rather, we can share finances, but I'm talking about share bank account. We just talk about, like, I feel like if we pay bills, we talk about what we're going to put towards the bills, just come with that. We can have a share account where we put that in and pay the bills. But what you do with your money, you do with yours. And then as we come up with goals together, then we, add money to the pot for those goals. But that whole, a man paying all the bills.
You said that you see yourself dating like guys that are like creatives too, that's looking for something. Can y'all date people that just, like having just a 9 to 5? Like, I just want to work 40 hours a week until I get my pension and then retire.
Yeah, just to stay out my way. Don't be annoying me, because everyone's purpose is different. It don't have to be this big grandiose dream like I want to be. No, but I feel like the scary part is when somebody has their own thing going on, and like when people, because some people are okay with a 9 to 5 because they're not confident in themselves, or they're just settling. There's a difference from I'm okay with this and I'm just settling, because then you start to put your misery out on your partner. I say this all the time. The biggest enemy you can have is the person you lay with, because the same shit they'll like you for is the stuff they'll start envying you for later on down the line when they see you flourishing, whether it's financial or anything, just you living your best life, and just people are envious of that because it's hard in this day and age, or people really just don't even know how to tap into that confidence in themselves, and they'll take out their energy on your partner. But I feel like if you get someone who's okay with a 9 to 5, that person is going to support you 3,000%. Okay. If they are truly happy in that space. What do you say?
It was funny you asked that, because I was dating somebody who was just cool with the 9 to 5, but I felt like whenever I was doing something creative, they would judge it. They would like try to like play it down, like, oh, you're so vain, you always want to take these pictures and do this. And it's not about being vain, it's about, this makes me happy. Like, this is how I show my creativity. I don't, like, why can't you just be happy? It was just weird. Like, I feel like if they're not creatives, and if they're not into what you're into, it's always going to be a problem, because they're not going to get it, and they're going to try to downplay it, and they're going to try to make you feel bad for being into it. Right. If they don't get it.
I think that's when you start to get to know somebody. This is why my fear of rushing into things, because it's like people don't reveal themselves until y'all in it. And it's unfortunate, because it's like, before people even jump into dating, what I did with myself is like, yo, you really got to set your standards, because I know relationships are about compromise. I hate that shit. Not a compromising person, but I do want a relationship. So I'm learning that. But you have to know as an individual what you're willing to compromise. You're never going to meet a perfect person. And people, like, something that you might not think is that deep to compromise for somebody, for someone like me, might be like, oh, hell no. And I feel like you really have to have that list written down for yourself. Like, I bet I want to be in a relationship. Here is what is non-negotiable, like what I'm not changing about myself, or what I'm not going to tolerate. And here's something that I'm able to be flexible about. You know what I'm saying? Anything outside of that list, because
you gotta stick to your guns too. What will end up happening if you have, what you have on the list of, this is what I'm not looking to compromise, right? if you start seeing that, you know what, I said I would never compromise with this, but I'm gonna start a little bit.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll start just being upset and being mad because in yourself you're like, man, I did this, and then this person's still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta like really be honest with yourself in certain situations, and sometimes you gotta like even walk away to where it's like, you know what, I just really can't deal with this. This ain't the right situation.
Mm-hmm. That's a hard pill to swallow though, because I feel like a lot of times, once again, people using their relationship as their identity. It takes so long for people to get to that point to be like, you know what, I'm gonna just walk away. Because then you become a project. Like, no, you have to be this way. Like, we're in a relationship now. Like, it's like you become so like controlling and obsessive off the idea of this person being who they are. And like, I always like say when people, some of my friends come to me with relationship advice, know the difference from what's a relationship issue and what's an individual issue. Because an individual issue is meant to be worked out between that individual and God himself. A relationship issue, it has to have two parties involved, and it has to be something based on the relationship, not their own personal problems. And you can't control somebody else. Like, I get this, like, people say it's the sag in me, but I'm very black and white. I'm just like, okay, I don't got to deal with this. Like, it's the freedom in me. I don't like feeling confined to unhappiness or struggle or just like, and I've learned to, what's that prayer saying, like, things you can't control, the serenity prayer. Like, I really hold that dear to me. So once I realize, all right, this is not under your control, the next step is, what is you gonna do about it? Like, are you gonna just sit here and be miserable, or are you gonna?
But those are things that you also like. You really have to take your time. And how I talked to you guys before about like serial dating. Like, you have to take your time and figure these things out before. And like literally, like when you go on a date, there should be a questionnaire. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you willing to do? What annoys you? Because if you learn that, you know, from day one, like you said, consistency, things have to be consistent, right? So after a couple of dates, or you going here, going there, you should kind of know that person before you start to move into the next step, right? And like you were saying, people kind of just jump in, like, you know, I want you to be mine. I don't want to share you with anybody else, but you really got to take your time. Like, people look at dating from a whole different aspect now of, you know, we have all these different opportunities to date multiple people because we have pretty much the avenue. Right. You know, like in the 1950s, 60s.
You had to sit a bird.
Yeah, or you just date people because they live next door to you.
Right,
like, you don't know what else now. You go on Instagram.
There's 2,000 people right at your fingertips. That is true.
And they'll tell you, like, if I was saying that I want to date a woman that looked like this, and then I hit follow, and they'll be like, what about this person? Instagram will tell you. They're like, all right, let me follow her too. So you have all of this access of people that you can date to learn, you know, who's the right person for you to be with. And we got to take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. But then it's also the negative aspect of it is that you have too many options.
Right.
So you just end up consistently dating over and over again, thinking about, what about this person? Or maybe I should try this.
Oh, I always felt like you missing out. Like, oh, there might be somebody else. Now, dating, like, what's the perfect date for you?
I think the problem with guys is they feel like they always have to spend so much money. Guys are scared to court you these days. And I'm like, yo, we could go to the park, have a picnic, bring some fruit and chill. We could go to a museum. Museums are free. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun, cool stuff you can do with somebody that you're dating or somebody you're taking out on a date. It doesn't have to be expensive.
I don't like going out on dates where someone is going to pay if I don't know if I like you or not yet. I don't know. That's just me, but... First of all, I hate going out to eat. If I don't know if I like you, like, eating is my favorite sport. Like, you don't understand. That's my peace. That's where I get my joy from. If I have to sit across from somebody, and I've done it before, and it was tragic. It's just like, God, please let me die now so this can be over. Like, it is the worst feeling in the world. I don't see how. Like, for me, most of the people I've dated, it happened in an organic way. Like, we just so happen to be in the same place, mutual friends, and it's just like, hell, like, I like it too. Like, after actually having a genuine, organic conversation or interaction that didn't have, I don't like the auditioning process, bro. I'm not auditioning for you. I feel like,
right, before they take you out, some guys want to, I just want to see, you know, how this is going. We're not about to text for like 3 months before you decide whether or not.
No. Who's doing that?
Listen, the dating
who's talk about who's doing that?
What, texting for absolutely?
So they said it a good morning text every day.
Yes.
And it's like, what are we doing? Because some guys are scared to court you because they've been rejected so many times because they decided to take out the girl that they thought was pretty, and they realized there was no substance, so she wasted his time. So now it's just
that's what annoys me about men. I hate when y'all get played. Y'all act like it's the end of the world. Like honestly, if you gonna get played and then say all women ain't shit, at that point just cross the other side. There is plenty of options. We have the LGBTQAC community is very large, but I just don't like the fact that men will make women across the board suffer because they've been through some shit. And 9 out of 10 times that shit was in high school. Like, we are pushing 30. Get over it. Like,
let it go.
Y'all know we fragile, man. We like to not say it, but you know, when we want to have this, you know, bravado about ourselves that we're just so, you know, tough as nails. But deep down inside, man. Like,
but to get to the point where you'll potentially lose, like, someone, a good partner in the future, I don't feel like it's
yo, you know what's crazy? I saw something on social media, and I never thought about this, that a girl said that a dude can definitely lose his chance of dating somebody because of what he posts on social media.
Yes!
And I thought about that. When you mentioned it, I said, damn, like, we might be, because I was in a phase with this girl. It wasn't like serial Good Morning Texas before, but I was like texting her, and we were planning to go out. And then for some reason that day, she was like, I forgot I had something I had to do. So the next week, she was like, she wanted to go out. And I was like, yo, what happened, you know, last week if you ain't want to go out? She was like, you put something on social media that just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, what? I was like, why did that stop you from wanting to go out and be in front of me? She was like, because it just didn't sit.
What did you post, though?
Yeah. It was something like, it was something that was rhetorical. It was like a joke where it was like when you show your homeboy your crush and they just keep swiping, so you try to look for the best picture.
Oh,
so she was like, yeah, you posted that, and that just had me thinking, like, you know, why would he be so concerned about what others think about the girl that he's talking to? And I was like, bro, I'm not even talking about you.
He thinks too deep, but I get it. Like, honestly, I used to always say, I'm in this day and age, if a dude don't have social media or a social media presence, something wrong with him. But I prefer my next serious relationship, this person better never have a social media day in their life. I don't even want them to know how to use a keyboard because I'm not doing the social media shit in no relationship. We too grown. We pay too much taxes. For the biggest problem for me to come home from work or whatever for social media to be a problem. And I just feel like men or there's people who just don't know how to conduct themselves, including myself, but still. I don't want to deal with it. And I feel like how guys carry themselves on social media, the need for attention. I feel like social media, outside of the people using it to bring themselves in business, it's a female place. It's a place where you want attention, you want to show you something. And I feel like men, the way they obsess, like that, your post wasn't that bad. But I dated a guy where, my goodness. It's so crazy because he'll text me good morning, and then of course he was big on social media. Go on social media, this dude is always just putting outrageous shit. Like, but he just wanted to be a comedian so fucking bad. Like, and that used to annoy me. I had to block him on all social networks.
Like, what type of outrageous stuff?
I don't know, just being a clown on social media. It
like
wasn't
him
even,
or like other videos.
No, videos, memes, and stuff. But to me, it came off like you just want attention. From people so much, like so bad. It's like,
so you see that more as a feminine trait to really want to seek attention from social
media? If you're dating someone, absolutely. And even another thing that annoys me, these guys that be on social media acting like they the perfect partner and they don't know why they have a girlfriend. That's weird shit to me too. Like, guys be on social media, TD jaking it up. Like, if I had a wife, I would be. But first of all, you know them in real life, and it's like, dude, you're a little fuckboy. Like, and then the fact that they do it on social media,
and y'all start those trends. So the fact that you said that it's a woman's place really hit home for me, because I'm like, wait, the way you talked about it, because y'all start trends and then we gravitate towards them and do the opposite. So y'all started like the me and somebody's son, and then we'll go me and somebody's daughter. Like, we gotta have the same type of reaction.
That's true, but don't do it. Like, I don't know.
I agree. Don't do it.
Like, I prefer. I mean, no. It depends. If you dating somebody, I just feel like it has to be a balance. Two people who are really into the social media, like, and it's not just about having an account. When we talk about social media people, you know those people that is just like.
But what if he is a comedian, like HaHa Davis?
That's fine. I like that.
He gets paid.
But he didn't always start. Like, he probably was doing outrageous.
No, I just feel like you can always read intent through posts. Like, I feel like your post wasn't bad, but maybe if she was dating you, was just like, you ever had somebody that text you all day long, want to see you all the time, and then go on social media like, damn, wish I had a bae, wish I had it. Like, it's stuff like that that's just, it's the intent behind it. And it's just like, it reveals a lot about what people are dealing with, not even just with themselves, well, in general, but internally. Like, it really reveals a very vulnerable side about men that I don't like seeing. You ever had any social media issues with talking to somebody? Or did anyone ever have an issue with you?
Did anybody ever have an issue with me on social media? I dated one guy and he thought I wore too much makeup, and I'm like, that's what I'm into. So
based on social media?
Was it based on I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up, because what is it with men and like I feel like they get to
tell you what they like,
yeah,
and tell you what they want you to stop doing. Like
I think that's another weird thing that
it's control.
Yeah,
it's control. You know, and it's to an extent of, when we look at it from y'all perspective, like, some women like that we can be able to make decisions and call shots. Like, you know, women can speak that's very attractive. So sometimes, you know, there's blurred lines to, all right, well, now I want to start, you know, giving you topics on how I want you to look or what I want you to wear, right? And then, honestly, like, when you it's a fine line, because once you start, like, being overbearing with it, it starts to get disgusting and nasty.
Right. Or you can tell sometimes a lot of men will start being controlling to make up where they have no control with themselves and their life. And I feel like that's why this whole thing where a man needs to be a man, a lot of people confuse that as like what you physically see. Like, whether it's like, oh, man has to be aggressive, he has to do this. It's no. The type of man, like, the level of a man is shown from who he is internally. And like, a lot of the things that people like, that over aggression and all that stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I used to like that. You know, I used to really like hood guys. Like, but
it's obnoxious now.
Yeah, it's just like, no, not even obnoxious. It really shows the little boy in them that's really screaming to come out. This might be the obsessive psychologist in me. I call myself a psychologist, but you can really tell when a person, like, with these guys in control on insecurity, like, I feel like a lot of girls that take that, like, oh, he really likes me, or he really, no, it's like, dude, he is so insecure. And I don't like seeing that. The same thing with the social media thing. I do not like seeing men and women like, what is it? I don't know, like, things that are so, like, insecurity. We all deal with it. Men deal with it too. But the way I'd rather a guy be like, yo, I really am insecure about this, versus be like, why you going out? Why you got that on? And to me, most guys would be like, oh my God, my man said, I'd be looking like this little ass boy. Like, he is so insecure. Like, I don't like seeing stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of the ways we communicate or don't communicate what we're really going through, it shows in social media, shows in the obnoxious behaviors that goes on in dating, and it's just like, I'm gonna just stay by myself.
You really gotta look at, you know, you gotta look at an individual's personality, you know, early on. And a guy really needs to figure out, you know, whether he's comfortable having these conversations with the person that he's speaking to. So if I know I have some type of insecurities and I don't feel like I can talk to you about certain things because I gotta keep this image, you're gonna start to see it come out in my overcompensation of how I feel about myself. But if I know this is a safe space and, like, you're gonna be able to support me, we can have this open dialogue about things that I need to work on, you know, it's going to end up a lot better, because we're going to be able to talk about it. I know that I'm not going to be judged, you know, but, I mean, I've dated women who's told me before that even having that conversation, to me, didn't feel like something a man should do.
What?
Like, a real man don't talk about his problems. A real man shouldn't talk about this. And I'm like, if I don't talk about it, somehow it's going to come out, right? With the way I'm acting, how I'm trying to overcompensate. So if you're not going to allow me to have these conversations with you, then this really ain't gonna work. Right. You know? But if she bad, a dude would be like, all right, well, I ain't gonna talk about it. And then, you know, you start to see how they start acting different on social media. They start acting different face to face. They start making a show out of, you know, themselves and all the stuff that make y'all, you know, unattractive.
Right. That is, you know what? I'm a female, but I'm sorry, I do have to speak on this. What's up with females always, like, going to social media with, like, their relationship issues or even dating issues? Like, one thing about me, I'm a very verbal person. I cannot be with you if I cannot talk to you. Like, that's the only way. I am very far, very left. So if I get to a point where something's on my mind, it just gotta come out. And social media ain't it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need to go and speak to that person directly, say how I feel, and move forward. But women need to, like, I don't see how you could be laid next to somebody and then go on social media to post like an issue you have. Like, did you ever?
I think it's like childish, and it's another way for her to just seek attention. Like, how are you in a relationship and you can't communicate with them, or you don't even have friends that you could talk about your problems? So why are you on social media?
In their defense, a lot of the times when I see women do that is because they don't have like that. Like, you can only, these social media men, some of them really could only get through to their man via social media. I ain't gonna be with you if that's gonna be the way. Like, if I feel like I have to go on social media to get your attention or express myself, we could just be friends. Like, what is wrong with people not just friendship? Like, what's wrong with just being someone's friend?
I got a lot of good friends, and when I date a woman, I kind of let them know off rip, like, if this don't work out, we not gonna be friends.
No, that's a fact. That is a fact. No, that is a fact. That's a fact.
Cause like I had a conversation with one of my coworkers one time, and she was trying to talk to this dude. So, you know, I had talked to her about, you know, how does she introduce him or whatever. And she was like, I tell people that this is my friend. I was like, but that's not your friend. Yeah. I was like, that's your person of interest. So she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, if you got married, would you invite him to your wedding? Mm. And she was like, hell no. And I was like, so that's probably not your friend. I was like, because if this don't work out, y'all not going to be kicking it. You're not telling him to come over to kick it with your family, right? Mm. So that's not a person that you would consider a friend. That's just a person of interest. Because if this don't work out, it's over.
That's why you don't use the title. You just say, this is such and such.
No, person is saying
names. Yeah, that just say, I'm just saying names.
No, I'm queen of, as soon as we meet, like, let's say we're dating, I don't know, because there's never a moment where you just tell somebody, okay, we're dating now. It's just like, we're hanging out. But if we've never done anything, you're my friend. Now, if I like you, I'm going to keep that to myself. You keep it to yourself, too. And let's just be friends until it happens naturally. Because I just feel like, I don't like, once it's something is like, it's like, okay, we're dating now, I think everything just feels forced after then. I don't like when a guy is not himself.
So you date your friends?
No, that's the thing though, because it's my friends, and it's like, you're my friend. Now,
or is it your little friend?
My little, but when did, I feel like it becomes your little friend when y'all actually messing around. I'm talking about if I just meet a guy, like, okay, I just met you, he's cute, blah, blah. We're not friends, but we're not. You're my friend. You're not like.
I think I want you to be another word for it.
No, I don't. I just want you to act accordingly. We don't have to use the word friend, but I need you to understand you're my friend because I said this the other day. Men, the girl they're dating is usually the lowest in the bracket for men, and I'm gonna tell you why. They treat their mamas better. They treat their sisters better. They even treat their friends. They're real friends, like friends that they don't have nothing going on. I feel like maybe because guys feel like women were sensitive or they're too busy trying to live up to what they think a woman wants. That beginning phase of dating, the things guys do and don't do, it's very like, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like feeling like the girl that he's talking to. I feel like everyone tiptoes around you. I feel like he tiptoes around you. And you're just like, tested. Yeah, you feel like you're always being tested. And it's just like, I don't like that feeling. I want to be your friend till I'm your wife. Okay? So I don't know. That's why I prefer the word friend. But if we already crossed that path, and we should both understand we like each other, but we're not going to say it. If we cross that path and it don't work out, you're not going to be my friend. Like, not my friend.
It's like you're my friend for now.
You're my friend for now, and then
we cool.
Exactly. Now, how do y'all feel about people who y'all date family? Do they play a part in whether y'all gonna take it to the next level or not?
I think the moms are a big thing.
I used to not like men who have moms. Like, I prefer my men to just have fell out the sky, married, dropped them off, or brought in market for me. I used to not like moms. Like, I don't not like moms, but I don't like men who have moms and sisters.
Listen, moms can be very tough.
I don't, because I'm not kissing no ass. Like, I'm not about to, but I've had better experiences where I didn't have that. But I used to feel like with the women in men family make you feel like you owe them something. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe this is just tone.
How far into dating though?
What?
How far into dating, first of all, how far into dating are you meet your mom?
I met guys' moms while we were still just dating.
Like, by how long? Like, is it like serious dating or is it
No,
like...
it wasn't even that serious. It was just like, hey, Mom, walking past the living room Sunday.
Hey,
Just kidding. So, no, seriously, I met moms, right?
Well, was that a meeting?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what happened?
I just don't like, okay. You know why I'm here.
Yo.
Now I feel like what else do you say after you say hello? And like, you know what it is? I don't like feeling forced to like
it's your interview?
to please anyone, like to audition to interview anybody. I've had moms that I've met and we just rock, but it don't got nothing to do with your son. Like, you had a great personality, I have a great personality. You know what? I don't know what your son number. What are you like? Me and you about to vibe, but that whole like pressure that women put on themselves, like, oh my God, I'm about to meet his mom. It's just like, no, I don't like force anything. Like, I just don't like the idea of force anything. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I've had an experience where I was talking to this guy and he invited me to his little family function. Okay? I don't even think it was a function. His family was just hood. They was on the block and I came, right? And
you just went? You ain't like sitting
no,
there?
he invited me, but I just was...
And I've been sitting in the mirror like...
Bruh. That was the worst experience I ever had. First of all, I knew nobody. Not a soul. Just standing there. So I was sitting there looking like a charity case. Like, okay, that's why I said I don't like being a girl that the dude is talking to. Because if I have male friends or friends invite me, like you invite me to your family function, I'm not going to be like, I'm Staci's friend, I'm going to stay under her. I'm going to talk to your cousins. I'm going to talk.
You're going to be comfortable.
Exactly. But once you're the girl that he's talking to, you talking too much. It's just like you doing the most. And I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to be accepted or like, so it's like once you're the girl that he's talking to, it puts me in a very like low place. Like, okay, I'm the girl. Can't talk too much to these two guys, because then, I mean, to his guy family members, because they gonna think, oh, she a hoe, she trying to talk to me. You don't want to talk to the family female friends. It's like, damn, she trying to do the most. She ain't even a girlfriend yet or whatever. So I was just to myself, and I just remember his girl cousin. I didn't know she was a cousin at the time. He was like talking to me. I was sitting on the porch. The girl cousin came behind him and like wrapped her arms around him. And started rubbing his nipples.
Oh.
And was like, babe, like something. Yeah, and I'm just like, sister, man.
Oh, so she was doing that on purpose?
Yes. And it's just like, and I was just sitting there, like, I didn't even know, like, I was just like, that's my goodness, this is not for me. Like, this whole thing is just not for me. And then and I'm like, when my guy friends or my male friends bring their girlfriends around, I don't care if it's the 5th girlfriend of the day. Hey, sis. I'll go about my day. Like, I feel like a lot of these female family members,
they do a lot.
You don't know, they sleeping with them. Like, what kind of incest is going on here? Like, what is going on? So, yeah.
That's why I don't even, you can't meet, if we're dating, you can't meet my family. You can't meet nobody. Ever.
But,
no, if we're dating, like, if you eventually become my girl, yeah, you'll meet my mom. But, like, my mom has only heard that I was dating, and I never show her any pictures of girls that I dated. I've never sat there and had any like specific conversations. I keep those two separate because I don't want, that awkwardness of, number one, this is this person, my friend, my person of interest or whatever it is. I don't want you to feel awkward, to feel that you gotta like, try to win her over. Mm-hmm. And then number two, we might fall out next week and then you're not there and I gotta answer all these questions.
Right.
So when it comes to dating, I never introduce people or bring girls I'm dating around my family members because, it just complicates things.
But I feel like what I've learned, like my family is African and then Muslim. So the way I was raised, you don't have no boyfriend. You just grow up and get married. That's it. Like it's like 1 minute, no boys. Next minute, where's my grandkids? And it's just like, wait, what's going on here? So like my last serious relationship, he showed up to a family function. My friend, I don't even think I really introduced it. No, next thing we had a baby. Like, just showed up like, okay, remember that friend I told you about? It wasn't like that. But he was the first person I ever dated who really was like around my family and I didn't have to force it. Because I was in that awkward space of growing up. Like, I was raised most of my life with my dad. My mom was deported when I was a kid. And then when my dad passed, my mom ended up coming. So I was still in that. I'm a very to myself type of person when it comes to my family. So I don't like talk about who I'm dating and da-da-da. But he was the type of person, the moment he came around my family, he made sure he made himself family. Like, and I didn't realize that was a quality I needed to be, to feel at peace in a relationship. Like, I would have, if you would have gave me my list before that, I would have never put, let's get along with my family. Because I never experienced it. But with experiencing somebody being who fit right in with your family is like, that's a must for me now. Because then you feel like you gotta live a dual life, like, and then I don't know. I just it feels like you gotta live a dual life. With you, did you ever like bring anyone to meet your family, or did you ever meet someone's?
I had a guy bring me to his was it New Year's or Christmas? I think it was like a Christmas celebration. He was African. He was like, when you get here, my father's gonna say inappropriate things to you. Don't pay it any mind. Just sit here. My mother may ask you some questions. Just sit here. Don't say anything. I'll answer the questions. It was just too much for me, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I wasn't even his girlfriend. I was just we were dating, but I was like on the fence with him because it was just so controlling. And I felt like when I met his family, he just brought me there so that his mother maybe would stop asking him questions about what he was doing in his personal life. I felt like I was there for him to look a certain way to his family, and it was just too much pressure on me. Like, it was just so much going on. Like, his father was weird, like he said. His mother was asking me all these questions and looking at me with this attitude. I was just like, what? I felt like I was in the lion's den. I'm like, what is my purpose for being here right now?
Yeah, see, no.
And he was just like, don't say anything. I'll answer all questions if they ask you something inappropriate. I'm like, is this an interview? And like, what did you tell them I was to you? Like, what am I doing here?
Oh my God.
See, it's awkward.
It was very awkward, and I was ready to go.
You ever went on I don't know if a male experienced this, but like a guy would tell somebody too much of nothing that's going on between you get around his friends, and it's like what did you tell them?
Right.
Like,
what road did you tell them I
played in your life? Yeah, because it ain't that deep. Like, it was definitely not that deep.
You gotta be careful what information that you share. You know, like back to social media again. Mm-hmm. People saying I don't post this person because I want to get played in private. The same way gotta be when you sharing information to your people. It's like you dating somebody, share information enough that they know that you are dating and you're involved. You feel me? But to talk about things that you might be going through with this person, things that or small fights that you might happen. Like, if you start to have those conversations, and that's another reason why I would introduce, women I date to my family or talk about it. Like, we might have one bad fallout, right? We might fall out on Friday. Saturday, I'm going through my feels. Sunday, I'm sharing with my family members. Monday, we sit there and we right back at it. Everything good. Right. The last thing that they remember, or the people I shared it with, is, oh, that's the girl that Quis was saying such and such about, and that happened like months ago. That's all they remember.
And that's so real. And friends do that with each other because, like, with me, if I have a falling out with somebody I'm dating, I'm gonna tell you the real. I'm gonna tell my friends, tell everybody what's going on. But I had some friends who will like tell you something outrageous that happened in their relationship, and like come and vent and dog this person. You help them dog them, and the next minute they back with them. They back together, but then they act like it didn't happen. Like they don't. I feel like this is why I'm big on. I now understand people not putting their relationship on social media, not posting, not nothing, because it's just like, you do feel like you now got to go give an explanation. Whether it be your family, your friends, or social media. Like, how every 2 seconds you was posting, and then now you deleted all the pictures. Sis, what happened? We got to know. I gave you how many likes on this relationship?
This is our relationship.
You need to let us know what went down, when, where, what time, what, like. So I do believe in being private, but at the same time, let these niggas know. Like, there's a perfect balance. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the balance is, but you can tell when somebody hiding somebody.
Figuring this out.
Right.
You feel me? We not hiding our girl, from the world. We hide the world from our girl. And that's pretty much all we doing.
Shut up. I do feel like a guy should at least post you once, like.
On your birthday. And then
don't do no fab shit. Post like a friendly caption. Like, people don't even know this your brother or your man.
Yo, big shout out. shout out for your birthday. 100.
Yo, I know people went on vacation with a person. The person posts everything. The sky, everything, but not the relationship. Like, not the person you with. Like, stuff like that are the clues. Like, okay, what are you hiding? And where's this family that you're hiding? Because no. But
I'm from the era of when social media didn't exist. Right. So we had to sit there. Like, people these days, and it's millennials, the tail end, that's not going to know the anxieties of having to call a girl house phone and not knowing who going to pick up. And then try to ask for the girl, like, yo, such and such there. Your heart be pounding like, yo, such and such here. Who this? This Marquise. What you want? I just want to talk to her. About what?
Oh, shit.
Now it's just like, yo, what's your Instagram? All right, I'm going to just keep DMing
you.
Yeah.
So we went from that, phase to where it's like, I have to have constant direct contact with you. So when it comes to like telling people on social media about it, you kind of got to be careful because this is like open to everyone. You might post it and then the first thing I do is, well, I'm not going to do, but if you post your dude, I'm not DMing it to mad people. So then you go to like, somebody might hit you up and be like, yo, what? I see that you got a man now. How you know that? Such and such sent me the DM. And that be going on. So you got to be careful. And I'm a big subscriber to energy. So when I put, that I'm talking to somebody or, I don't want somebody coming to me with BS like, yo, she used to talk to such and such. What you telling me that for?
That's what always happens. The floodgates open.
I don't need to know nothing. I know what we're going
kindergarten used to share apple slices with him.
That got nothing to do with me right now.
That's what I do miss prior to social media, the mystery. Like you couldn't, like you have a crush, you gotta wait until 9 p.m. to talk to them. So that whole empty space, I love the crushing phase. Like if I could crush all my life, like just meet a bunch of people crush, okay, gotta go now. Now once that phase, what they say, the beginning phase is the best because them lies be everything. Like just that phase, I just like the mystery of it. But nowadays, not even, same thing with social media. Like you meet someone, you have a banging, popping conversation. The consistency is there, everything is there. You just wanna listen to love songs all day and think about them, then boom, you get on Instagram. Stupid ass post that they put, or just it's just like something that just is just like, okay, this is too much. Like we want to know it all about this at the same time. To me, the best part of dating is the mystery and just the idea of just moving forward and getting to know someone, understanding that it's not going to happen today. But even when someone posts a post, it's not even to say it's a bad post or a good post. We just always trying to figure it out. Like, oh, he posts this meme, that means he's a whore. Like, even though he just asked for my number yesterday, and it's like, no, you gotta wait a little bit and find out what's really going on. So
it's the mask. You gotta find ways to like what's big for me is when we go on a date, I gotta know how you socialize. Like, how do you act in public? How do you have conversation with people? I went out with this girl before, and we went to this dine-in movie theater, and we was trying to get drinks because it was like a bar, and the first thing they was like, the bartender was like all the way over there serving somebody. She was like, yo, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I can't be bringing you around. You talk about bringing people around. I'm not bringing her around my mom doing that. And the whole bar looking at us like,
see, that's why I don't.
Did you?
What? When he was,
we were out, and he was just like, yo, like I didn't ask for this. Like he was just so rude talking to her. Like I mean, she was just talking to her like she was the help, like she was just nothing, and I was just looking at him like I'm embarrassed.
And that's reflective of how they're gonna treat you,
right?
You know?
I went on a date. This is why I'm big on not dating, like going on dates. Like I just don't like it. You better just catch me on the streets and catch my eye because I went on this date, and this first of all I should have known something was wrong because me and my friends went out to a party and we pulled up to McDonald's parking lot. I had a strawberryta and like some other shit that I mixed. I threw up. Like all I remember was I was throwing up outside of my friend's car, and this guy just comes out. No, it wasn't. I was with my friends, and then like this guy just came out with napkins. Like she needed water. He had all black on, so I'm thinking it's like the McDonald's security guard or something like that. And then he disappeared. I was still trying to gather myself, and then I feel like he came back, but he was like saying he wanted to talk to somebody. So of course I'm like, he tried to talk to one of my friends. Not my disgusting ass throwing up right now, but it was me. So I'm like, something ain't right. But either way, I took his number. I get home. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. He texted me like, do you feel better? Do you want to go grab something to eat? I'm like, okay, no. But this was the stage where I'm like, you need to, I was saying I want a relationship, but I don't do the normal things that people say you should do. Go out on dates. And so I'm like, maybe I waited a few weeks. We went on a date. Lord have mercy. First of all, he showed up and he had a limp. And I'm just like, this was not, it wasn't a bad limp, but it was like.
What did he have when you
I don't remember, but all I know is if you're going to show up on a date, show up healthy, please. Like, you can't just show up.
Wait, was it like something he was born with?
I don't know at the moment until he sat down. It gets worse,
y'all. He was drunk. You didn't see the lip.
Yeah, so he came. We sat. The first time he picked me up in his car, so I didn't even see the lip. Because it was when we was walking out. I'm like, Lord have mercy. We go inside. All I know, that's when he told me the story. He got into a motorcycle accident. And I'm like, okay, damn. So now,
did you ask him about it, or did he just bring it up?
He just brought it up, and I'm like, thank you, because I was wondering. So then after that, the food came out. He was sitting across from me. He goes, "Oh, like my pain kicked in. I guess he had a metal in his leg."
Damn.
And when I tell you, homeboy was hovered on the table, and it was at that point where I was like, God, please tell my
Get me out of here.
Get me. I wanted to melt into my clothes and leave. Like I just never felt so uncomfortable in my life.
He needed to heal first.
So after he did that, he took his medicine. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, we done met in 30 seconds. He done took his medicine. Then was like, can I come sit on your side and lean on your shoulder?
Oh no.
I was young, so I don't know why I have this idea. I feel like if a man is paying, and you just owe him. I don't know. I just used to be that type of person. Not with men. I was just like, okay. I was sitting here when I tell you my back was sweating so hard, like I nose dripping from my. I'm just like, I just remember sitting like this, and he's just on my shoulder, and I'm like, it's gonna be over all soon. It's gonna be over soon. We get to his car. You know what this nigga do? He had an Escalade. He went to first of all, he started doing all these business calls. At this point, I think it's over. Like, he could take me home. He gets on the phone and started making these calls like
wake up now?
Not even wake up now. He was in the military, so he was making like personal calls, like talking about his social security, all of this stuff. And I'm like, wait, I was so confused. Like, at some point did I tell him I'm his girlfriend? Like, I'm just so confused of what's going on. Then tried to go in the back of his Escalade, like, oh, I just took my medicine. I need to lay down. You could come back here and lay. I said at that point, no, I need to go home. I was like, I need to go home. Like, but that was like the worst.
How'd you get home?
He took me home. That's when I went home. The whole time I was playing the pool. I was like,
that's why sometimes I'll be like, I'll just meet you there, because when you're ready to go, you're ready to go.
Listen,
I've had a couple bad experiences where I was ready to go.
Or just guys put you in a position where I don't have a problem going on, but I just hate for people to put me in that position. So it's like, I'd rather just not go on a date. I don't want you to do anything awkward, embarrassing, or make me uncomfortable. Now I gotta go off, and it's just like,
go. What you can do, or what people should start to do if they have that issue, is to just go to public like events, with each other. Yeah. Because then you sit there and like, I could talk to you for a little bit, but then I also could leave you and go talk to somebody else and network. Yeah. And just hang out for a little bit, so I don't necessarily have to be committed to just this time. Like, all right, I think I'm gonna head out. Holla at you later, enjoy the event.
But nowadays, like when you. Maybe, Staci, you can answer this. Like, how do you know when a guy is actually asking you out on a date, or he's just trying to get some ass? Because that's another part that makes dating this blurred line. Like, these use words like, let's link up, we should hang out. Like, they won't be like, can I take you on a date? Like, we should hang out. Okay. Or what's next? So how do you know?
I had a guy. First of all, I had seen him. I was at a rooftop. I was out somewhere. We had already went on a couple of dates. And he was like, yo, after this, I'm going to come pick you up. We're going to go somewhere. We're going to, chill. It's a lot of after-hour spots. There's diners. There's a lot of other stuff you could do at certain times. So I'm thinking we're going to go somewhere. He picked me up. And we started pulling up to his house. I said, where are we going, sir? He was like, no, I'm not even trying to make a move on you like that. Why are you thinking like that? I said, sir, why am I at your home? Like, what do you think we're doing? He was just like, no, it's not even like that. I'm like, yeah, take me home. Like, that's not what we, I thought that was so rude.
You trying to finesse.
Right, I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm like, what are you doing?
See, I watched too much First 48 for that.
He was like, it's not even like that.
I was driving, like, hold on, what is going on?
I was so heated. I'm just like, yo, he really tried me.
Lord.
It's like y'all said before about the whole, like, a dude don't want to invest, like, his money, like, I'm not saying that.
It's like you got to go through an audition before they know whether they want to court you or not.
No.
Oh, I'm just... No,
it do be like that, but it's only more so like that when you've actively been dating and you're realizing like, yo, my account's starting to dry up a little bit. I gotta make sure.
That's when you gotta get creative with how you date. It's a lot of free stuff.
But I don't like guys don't like impressing women anymore. If you actually like that's if you're not.
The problem is you can tell that a lot of these guys have dated women that haven't expected much from them. Like they could get away with just coming over to the crib. They could get away with just going to a little drive-through real quick, getting some food and talking in the car. Like they didn't really expect much.
If we want to just bring you to the crib, that's what we're looking at this relationship as. You somebody I just want to bring to the crib. Like if we like a girl, if we really like her, we're not gonna first say, let me try to hit right now and not try to do anything else. Because if we do hit, we be like, damn, like I thought that, I was going to have to work for it. I thought that she was like, somebody that I had to really put in time with and invest with because I saw this long term. If I hit, it's like, all right, well, whatever.
Right.
But have y'all ever been on a free date?
What's a free date?
That says things to do for free. Have you ever seen a guy take? Have you ever been out with a guy he ain't have to spend no money? He ain't gotta spend money. Nope.
Oh. What? Yeah. I know what I told you. I always dated people who, for the most part, we knew. Like, I feel like we met at certain functions, but I don't know if it was a date. Like,
right. I mean, he didn't have to spend money. He told
See,
you
here
to.
we go with this. I didn't tell you about all of this. We could have just did something for free. So if he take you hiking, you going?
Yeah,
I would definitely go hiking. But guys don't do stuff like that. Like, these guys are not creative. They're not adventurous. They're boring.
Yeah.
So first they're like,
I don't want to go to the movies.
I know you don't know me, but let's go to the woods real quick and
to where?
The woods. Where else you gonna hike?
But you don't say, look, you gotta present it in it like, come on.
Well, as long as we got a mutual friend that knows you too, then it's like, okay, I could go ask like.
Or I'm gonna have to send your picture to somebody like this who I'm
done it.
If I'm not back by this time,
I've done it.
Call the police.
I've done it. Wait, what did you say before? Because you made me think of something. Before we brought up the free movies, you were talking about.
Oh, the
social events.
No, in the beginning, like investing your money. Like we don't want to invest our money at first.
I think it made me think of like what I said earlier with women. We gotta realize that we're choosing too. Like I feel like men, because they're understanding that, okay, well, I get to do the choosing. I don't feel like spending money on this girl. I don't feel like doing this. I feel like women need to understand that too. I gotta have a good time with you.
Right.
It is hard to like see if somebody is who you want them to be based off of a date. So I don't like to put so much emphasis on how he treats me, where is he gonna take me, how much money he's gonna spend. I gotta like hanging around you, like, and I think a lot of women just spend time just hoping that he like them. Then it's like, sis, do you even like him? Like, what do you have in common?
Or are you just gonna settle because you feel like you need to be in a relationship?
It's social media days. You just want to be relationship goals, or you just want a hot story to tell. He took me on a date. He took me here. It's like, sis, you didn't smile the whole day. What's that mean? Bitches be so miserable in a relationship, just happy to stay. Sis, you ain't.
And they be looking at you like, oh, you're still single, but you're unhappy, and you have a whole boyfriend, and you're unhappy.
Like I've definitely went on some really good dates, but didn't necessarily want to be with the person. Like after I went on a date, I was like, damn, like I really enjoyed her time, but
she ain't it.
It ain't it. And then people like, yo, what happened? Like she cute. Like, bro, the vibe just it's not what I need in terms of like a partner, like an intimate partner. Like somebody could be around, consistently.
I'm scared to date. I can't. I remember I went on a date with this guy. I met him. I was leaving class. And he pulled up on the side of me, and I'm like, yo, are you following me? Because he literally followed me from, like, me getting in my car, pulling off to, like, another parking lot. So I'm like, yo, like, what are you doing? But he was cool. He took down my information, and we went on a date. When we got on the date, he took his hat off, and the hairline was just pushed all the way back. So now I'm just like, oh, my God. You should
cut that thing off?
Then I could hear him breathing. Like, like, when you can hear somebody breathing, and it just made me so uncomfortable. It was like he was just, all I heard was sleep apnea and just big and I was just like, I gotta get up out of here.
Lord,
it was bad.
I feel like we can talk about this all day long. I want y'all to leave us with some jewels on the dating process, things that you realize work for you, or what you feel like men or women should do more to make dating in this day and age smoother. Who wants to go first?
I'll speak on it, man. For guys, keep your information to yourself. Don't be sharing with your mom, don't be sharing with your homies, like at first. Get to know the woman that you're trying to date. And honestly, you gotta make sure that you're ready to date too. So if you're, have all these insecurities, things you gotta work through, like you really have to be able to be happy with yourself, or else, some of that's just gonna spill out into your dating life. So therapy helps. Exercise helps.
Can you say the therapy part again?
Right.
Therapy helps. Therapy helps. When I feel like I'm in a bad space, I make sure that I take care of myself. So, you got to make sure that if you're in a space that you feel is toxic and you're not happy, dating probably isn't the best way to go. Because like you guys were saying before, like you start searching for saviors and somebody that's going to bring you peace when you got to find peace with yourself.
That's a big fact.
And for the women, I want to just say, respect yourself and don't compromise your morals for some, just for the sake of being in a relationship or going out on a date with somebody. If you're not comfortable with something, you're not comfortable with it. Don't sacrifice your morals or just try to make somebody else happy when you're not comfortable with it.
Facts. I'm just gonna end y'all off with, I said it throughout the podcast. Remember that you have a choice. I'm not even gonna limit this to just women, men too. Like, you really do have a choice on who you want. It's one of the greatest choices you're gonna make in life, because ultimately who you end up being with, whether you realize it or not, whether it's y'all just dating or y'all end up getting married, time is passing, and those experiences during that time could ultimately block a blessing or give you the greatest blessing of your life. So,
Big facts.
know your shits. All right, we're done.
What's the reason?
How you doing out here tonight?